Aloha, everybody. My name is Emil, and
I am Ra.
you guys are listening to Talking Growth. And as always, we always have a special interview guest today.
Yep.
Who are we talking to?
We're talking with Bitta from the Ulu Room. Great human, great spirit. The conversation that we had with her is awesome and amazing. I love what she's doing with the Ulu Room space.
I love definitely how she shares her values, her culture, and also the just the tenacity and the ambition of being a mompreneur. So that's a big thing that we did talk about today too.
Yep, she's a mompreneur. She's extremely driven. She talked about the leadership Kauai and how that helped mold her and some of the mentors that she met along the way. So, guys, look forward to this interview. It's going to touch the hearts of many, and let's gain some more perspective of the insight to her and her organization.
Yes, sir. I hope you guys do enjoy this episode, and now listen to our conversation with Bitta at the Ulu Room.
Yeah.
Welcome to Talking Growth.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Can you let the speaker or can you let the guest know who Bitta is, what does she do, and, give us a summary about you.
Okay. Who is Bitta? Bitta Poe. It's my stage name.
Hey.
Bitta Poe.
Yeah, it's important to point that out. No, Bitta's actually a nickname. I'm going to own it because there's only one and only Bitta. But
Okay.
Yeah, birth name's Elizabeth, and my brother actually couldn't say it. He was like 2 years old, so he's like little bit or whatever, And eventually it transformed. It was like little Bitta, and it was Bitta. And here we are. I'm 28, and it's stuck. So
Nice.
Really honored to carry that nickname.
That's awesome.
Given to me, yeah. And Poe is my married last name. My husband is Kolana Poe, so shout him out.
Shout out,
Love
Mr.
my
Poe.
honey. Yeah, Mr. Poe.
Mr. Poe.
Better know it. Love him. Love our ohana. Bitta Poe. I think who I am and what I do. I am a mother, full-time mother. I help to raise 3 boys alongside my partner. Outside of the home, I am a fitness instructor by trade. I also love to write.
Nice.
Many facets. I love to write. Beach bum, if that was a profession, I would claim that. And community wellness. So what I do is I help to operate and manage the Ulu Room as one of their founders. And the Ulu Room is located in downtown Lihue on Rice Street.
Nice. And
we are a rent space venue, and in that space we offer fitness, wellness, lifestyle, all these different Kauai small businesses, especially like wahine-owned businesses. We like to gather in that space and offer whatever your passions and talents are. And I've got this far on my dreams, on my passions.
That's awesome.
And I'm really passionate about community wellness. I think that I'm not sure if that's really like a term yet.
Community wellness.
If it's not, it should be.
I know, right? It's first, you have a very diverse background. I didn't know that. You have so many things going on all at once. And on top of that, being a mother, that's not easy. So props to you for being able to run everything while being a mompreneur.
So mompreneur. I like that. That's nice.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Mompreneurs. Oh my God, hammers.
Yeah. What got you to start your venture with the Ulu Room?
Well, I want to say 3 months pregnant with my second child when I was losing my mind. And I was like, I need to do something. I need to feel connected in a way that's more than just my own personal bubble.
Okay.
Because motherhood is challenging. Sitting here with you guys, thank you so much for holding that space for moms.
Motherhood
is challenging and it can feel very lonely. So I put myself out there. I was like, I need to get connected with other people. And what I noticed in the Kauai community is just kind of almost a lack of community and a lack of wellness for mothers. And so that and the lack of culture that we see in represented in businesses today. So I did want to I wanted to take all of my backgrounds and all of the many things that I've learned throughout life, and I wanted to put into business and share with others, especially to uplift moms and to uplift the Hawaiian culture.
Well, I know to begin with, I can't definitely say that I know what it feels like to be a mom.
No way.
So,
hey, shout out all the moms.
Yeah, shout out to all the moms. Honestly, like, you guys do a blessing and a service to every kid that's out there. Like, you know, we would probably not be where we are now if it wasn't for our moms. Shout out to my mom.
Big facts. There's an applause button somewhere.
Yeah.
Hit the mom button.
But adding on top of that, like, running a business by itself is already hard enough. Like, how do you go from being able to manage all what you're doing while being a mom? That's definitely challenging, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I have many villages. I come from many villages, and I have so much support. And without that support, I don't know how I would do it. But for other moms out there who are looking to start a business, I would say prioritize your family first. Because business, well, you can always come back to it. You have one family and you have one life, and you need to prioritize that. Right. And that's the foundation. And if your foundation isn't strong, you can't build on it. So
that's a bit right there, Bitta. If your foundation ain't strong, you can't build on it. That's what growth is all about, right? Is making sure that we have or we lay the foundation for proper growth. Yeah. And that's just well said. That is so true.
Family is so important when it comes to all aspects of life, not just business, because like your self-growth wouldn't be where it is without family,
right,
you know?
Right.
So everything that we're going through, everything that you're going through, honestly, your kids will probably appreciate it once they're older and see like, hey, like I've seen my mom do all these things like when she was growing up. Plus, like the difference between nowadays and before, it's like we are able to record like our faces, what we look like, and what we're doing. Can you imagine, like, say when your kid grows up and say, like, oh, my mom used to do all these things, like, no wonder why we're, like, you know, we're so well off and what we're doing. I think that's the most beauty aspect of it.
100%. And I resonate highly with you speaking about being pregnant and then going crazy with the thoughts of, like, I got to do something. I got to, you know, get out here and get in the world. Because the same exact thing happened to me with my first child. Yeah. Is I knew the baby was coming. And then, you know, I was a little bit lazy daisy in the beginning. Like, oh, man, everything will work out. And then once it got to, like, you know, a couple months before the baby was coming, I'm like, oh, shit, I really have to do something. You know, I started a business. I funded the business. I went to all these business classes and entrepreneur meetups, and you know, I'm blessed that I did. And sometimes that's what it takes is the kids give us that drive, or family give us that drive to then lay the foundation and start building.
You know, it's funny. I was talking to one of my friends, and I was telling them, like, whenever someone comes to me and then they need to do something while having me wait, I'm not a fan of just like sitting around. I don't know why, but I get so anxious just like standing there. So it's like I gotta be doing something. So one time one of my friends needed to like use my shower, for example, right? Okay. And while they were showering, I was like, what do I do in the meantime? I just grabbed a broom and started sweeping everywhere.
You got the ADD, but it's in a good way, right?
Right, exactly.
Get things done.
But that kind of goes the same way of like you want to be able to provide for your kids too. Knowing what's out there, knowing like just the beauty behind of like what you're trying to get through and what you're trying to build is so different, and you can't like put that into a perspective of what somebody else could go through. Especially when, you know, not a lot of people do it.
So did you have anybody that showed you the way when you were starting into business the first time? Did you have any mentors or any guidance, or did you just right into it and just?
So by the time I was 6 months pregnant, right? Flash forward,
Okay.
3 months. I started a business program with the Council for Native Hawaiian Advancement, CNHA. They do a business program called Kuhana. Okay. And basically, they lined out how to start a business, or the structure of a business, what you're going to need. You know, everything from like a mission, vision statement to, you know, financial projections, all of those
Elevator
things.
pitch.
Elevator pitch, yes. Do I still have an elevator pitch? No, I'm like, that's out the door. Like, real business
Right.
is not an elevator pitch.
Right.
Like,
There's not that many elevators on Kauai
there's-
anyway.
yeah. And if we're in the elevator together, I'm not talking to you. See ya.
We're not having small talk.
Yeah. I don't do small talk.
Right. Big
You
talk.
know,
Big talk only.
If you want surface level, that's not me. That's not
Yeah.
me. But Kuhana program with CNHA, that was kind of the start. So there I was, 6 months pregnant, started this program. It went all the way through till my due date. And there I was on my bounce ball having contractions in like pre-labor, doing my business plan, doing my pitches on my Zoom.
Goodness.
Gave birth, came back 2 days later. We had another meeting online, and
2 days later.
and I'm
Wow.
like trying to hide my baby from the camera, and I'm like, they're like, no babies, no kids, and I'm like with my 2-day-old, you know,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, it was nuts, it was crazy, and
Damn.
like I can't believe I did that. I love my son. His name's Liko.
Liko. Shout out Liko.
Liko bud. He's the best. That balance of starting a business while also, you know, having a baby. He just turned 1, and I'm like, oh my goodness, you know, like I have a Ulu Room too, and like it's all coming. It's all this creative energy, right? Like, you know, shout out to moms again. It's like we literally create life.
Yes.
So
Literally, figuratively.
yes,
Right.
yes.
Yeah.
Anything on top of creating life and keeping my Kiki alive and safe and happy, that's all extra. So when I look at the Ulu Room and like the business that we're creating today with my mentor Anna Braun, shout her out.
Shout out Anna.
Yeah, we like that's all extra to me.
Right.
Right. And it's that challenge I think that moms need, because we do so much. We multitask all the time. Like we operate in a level that men I don't think operate in the same level as moms.
100% no. If it was up to us, the world would go extinct. If we were to have to bear babies and then do what we need to do, yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. We need you guys to hold that weight of what it takes to be a mother and to multitask, like you said, while being a mother, which is kind of crazy. I don't know how you guys do it.
And it's crazy that on top of being a mother, I was like, I still need to do something more. Like I looked at the Kauai community, and I looked at what I need as a Hawaiian, as a Wahine born and raised on Kauai, and I didn't see it. I didn't feel it. The community that I've been a part of for almost 9 years, 10 years now, is Bar Kauai, and that's where I met my mentor Anna. And honestly, it's been so grounding in that space to be surrounded by strong, beautiful women who just uplift each other. So I'm so happy that the Ulu Room is growing from that. Like we are taking all of that powerful, beautiful energy, and we're expanding, we're growing, and that's what Ulu is. That's where that name comes from. The Ulu Room. It's growth and it's abundance. So
wow. Okay.
There's a lot to depict here.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to us just now, we were just talking about the importance of motherhood and how ambitious Bitta is, and there's a lot of things that Bitta does that actually blows my mind right now, with exactly what you said, with you know, trying to get this business plan, this vision, the mission statement
while contracting
and
crazy.
you know, and being on Zoom while like this thing is going on, and being on meetings. That is not easy. Guys, that is not easy. So
for real.
you know what it is? It's deep breathing.
Okay.
Deep breathing. So you know, just imagine you've got your watermelon-sized belly, your opal, and your baby inside, and bouncing on your exercise ball, and listening to whoever give their pitch.
You're right.
And I just felt so grounded, and I knew my power, and I think that's different as a business owner coming in now. I know my power, and it's something that Kauai needs. It needs to be shared. It needs to reach other people, to empower other people as well to step into that. But deep breathing was how I got through it. You know, like when all is said and done, like you have to feel grounded. You have to feel at home in your body, safe in your space, and and that comes from our breath, like ha, like,
Ha, yeah.
yeah, exactly. And that's the foundation, that's the gift that we have, is just we get to breathe, we get to be alive.
That's amazing, and honestly, it transfers into almost every single thing you can think about. Right, you jump in the ocean, it's too cold. You take some deep breaths.
Right.
And it's just like you start warming up and stuff. You get ready for an exam, or you get ready for a basketball game, or whatever the case may be. You take control of your breath, and you're gonna figure it out, and you're gonna power through. So it works in everything. So if you're nervous out there to start a podcast, take a deep breath and think about it.
Right, exactly. And I would add on top of that, was this like I can see that you have a lot of things going on, but has that always stemmed from when you were younger, of like why you started your business now? And
Yeah,
like,
when did the transition
how did this
happen?
like happen from like, you know, doing all these tasks and like becoming
Driven.
driven. So it's like I don't see that much or that many people that do it in Kauai. Can you give advice to people that, you know, how do you get that side of them to become driven, to become ambitious?
Okay, I guess this requires me to tap back into like my background a little bit. I want to share about my upbringing, and I was born and raised here in Kauai, Wailua and Kapa'a. So up here in Kapahi is kind of my stomping ground.
Hey.
Shout out to the Honis Ohana there up the road.
Okay.
You know, like going to Hopi Falls is our jam. Going to Kealia is
Right.
our jam. Like we grew up in a different Kauai than there is today.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And if I can keep that Kauai alive, doing what I do, I would love that. And so, you know, supporting our born and raised Ohana here, it's really important. And make those connections, and don't be afraid to want to connect to the local community, because there's so much aloha to share. Like it's not finite. There's so much to go around. But I think aloha is definitely something that I've learned from my parents. Born and raised, we have 5 brothers and there was 8 sisters. So we had a crew, a tribe, whatever you want to call it. That's our family. So mom and dad definitely instilled aloha and humility. You know, we come humbly as servants for those around us. It's like, what can we do for each other? What can we do for our neighbors? That's what we were raised to learn to do. And if I can carry that out in my business, then I know that I'm, you know, making my parents proud.
That's what's up.
However, if there are people out there on Kauai wanting to start your own business, you have to find that passion, you have to find that fire inside, and you need to follow it. You know, I've worked in government jobs, I worked in a school, and just seeing the struggle of our local people is definitely what filled my fire. It lit a fire inside of me that has not gone out. And it actually started with Mauna Kea, so I don't know if we can start touching on that yet. But,
No, that's heavy. That's
yeah.
I'm all for not desecrating the ancient lands for technology purposes. Like, come on now. There's a thin line of right and wrong when it comes to growth, right? And if you're trying to grow for monetary value only, then that's out the door, right? We have to make sure that when we're doing things, that we're inclusive of the whole of everybody,
Right.
Every culture, every human, every thought process, every religion, whatever. Like, we got to be inclusive. We cannot just overlook somebody because of what? Like, you believe you have more power because you have more influence. That's not how the world works.
I'd say a big part of it too is like anyone that does end up migrating here or end up living here from, you know, the mainland or from a foreign country, they have to understand and respect the culture here. And like one of the biggest things that I do see is like, you know, I feel like you have to show an acceptance and also be able to give back. That's one of the biggest things I see in like, at least my version of aloha is, you know, our community here thrives off of helping each other. And if there's people that are moving in here to just take advantage of like, you know, the matter of the fact, that's not, something that we want to keep here.
No, you receive and you gotta give just as much every time at all costs.
Aloha I ke kahi. You give aloha, you get aloha.
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
I kind of want to change the conversation to, we know you're a busy person and we know that you do a lot of things.
Work. Oh,
How often do you take a breather and just relax, enjoy your time, de-stress from everything? And what do you do? What do you like to do?
Okay, so yes, I'm busy. I am always busy. I'm a mother. But to relax, it's funny. I play with my kids. I let them lead. I look at them. They're having the time of their lives.
Of course.
And instead of being like, oh no, don't do this. Oh no, don't do that. Get down. Stop climbing. I'll go and I'll climb with them. And I'm like, oh, this is fun. Just kind
become
of
a kid again.
releasing that idea of control, because if you always try to be in control, you're not in that much control.
Right.
So you gotta just let yourself be sometimes. And we love to go up Malka. We love to go swimming in the fresh water, up to the mountains, koke'e. Beach days are always the best. We'll be in Hanalei a lot of the summer.
Okay.
Yeah, Hanalei, we do, my oldest is racing right now with Kilohana Canoe Club.
Nice.
Yeah, the best of the best.
There's a race coming up soon in August in Princeville or something like that.
I know that there's long distance racing, and then he's still in the teens category, so they just do short distance. But it's a really beautiful thing if you guys ever get to witness the regattas that go on.
Regattas, okay.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
So, in any situation, you have to have that if you make 2 steps forward, you got to take that step back and release, and relax. And that's how growth happens, right? You got to recover, you got to reset. If you're working out and you're working out 7 days a week and you're burning out your muscles and you don't have a rest day, that's how you do the opposite of growth.
What I like what you said though is everything that you're mentioning with playing with your kids, going out, and a lot of it is related to being outside, getting that fresh air, and being active at the same time. Because there's one thing to sit around, and of course at the beach you're still sitting around, but you're still out there, But sitting around inside your home versus getting fresh sunlight, I think really speaks a toll on what your stress level could be,
Yeah, I think this is a good segue too, and with all of the growth that I feel, personal, professional, in my business, looking at my family, I love metaphors. Again, a writer, I love poetry. Anything plant related, so plant metaphors. And one really good one is talking about growth, and sometimes growth is the fruit, sometimes growth is the branches, but sometimes growth isn't seen on the outside. It's deeper. It's the roots. You got to grow your roots, and if you're growing too much outside, you have to remember to tend to yourself, tend to your roots.
Right.
And malama, malama your ohana, malama yourself.
Take care. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, do you have any business failures or any type of endeavors that you've embarked upon that didn't end so well?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Hey, let's hear one of those.
Okay. Failures. Jeez.
Only so that we can tell the people out there what not to do. We like everybody where they want to guess. Yeah.
Well, we can tell them what to do too. But don't take our advice from a grain of salt.
Right.
I think when I burn out, that's a failure. I feel like if you don't give yourself that rest that you need, and you always put other people's needs before your own, if you don't have boundaries, you're failing yourself.
Talk that talk.
Right.
So that's where my biggest growth has been lately, is creating boundaries and being like, no, that doesn't align with me, that doesn't feel good, I'm not going to go down that road. And that, I think, is the best way to avoid failures, is just staying aligned with myself and making sure that I do what feels good for me. But if you want to talk a little bit more, time management is where
yes,
I'm like,
yes.
I need a coach for that.
There you go.
Hey, there's a coach out there.
That comes with the fact of sometimes you got to say no, right? Because I am struggling with that. I'm a lot better now, because my wife is always pulling me by the ear. Like, you say yes to everything. Like, it doesn't matter. I just, you be here. Oh, meet me in Honolulu. Oh, yeah, all right. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm there. But sometimes you're right. You got to say no in order to have the most progress, have the most efficiency with everything that goes on in a busy person's life. Especially, I got 3 kids and 3 businesses, and it's like, to be more effective in the world and to get more done, sometimes you got to say no to the things that might hinder you from the real growth.
Right, exactly. And I'd say adding on top of the boundaries and having time management, it's a bit hard to like really figure out like how do you, it's as much as like you could say like I want to set a boundary, but when someone comes up to you, because this happens to me all the time, it's like, oh, can you do this for me? It's like, yeah, I can do it for you. You know, it's just the boundary just like ends up collapsing because of it. So
I'm guilty of it. I called him the other day. I was like, hey, man, I need a website built real quick. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm working on like 3 different websites right now. Like, it's all good.
Like, meanwhile, I was like on the phone with them. I'm on my computer doing some work. I'm just like, like, we could talk about this.
Right. He almost said, yeah. He was that close.
I almost said it, but.
Yeah. So how do you set that boundary? Like, I feel like one of my favorite things that I learned from my girl Kamala, she's like, maybe. Like, just that word.
Oh,
that pause.
maybe.
Just like, maybe.
Okay.
And, you know,
Mine,
it's on the table.
mine is let me check my calendar and get back to you. That's been my because I really have a calendar and it's getting crazy, and I really now have to start checking my calendar.
Yeah, I like that. Mine is just like a very subtle yes. Sometimes, or I just don't respond. So
There you go.
I definitely struggle with that, with trying to create a boundary out of everything. Because to me, it's like when I create boundaries with other people, at least the way that I see it for myself is I restrict an opportunity that I could have. Even though sometimes it does take a toll on you of like the time management. When you build something over and over, you end up getting burnt out because you just keep on saying yes to everything. It's like,
all money ain't good money. I'll just leave it. I just say that. All money ain't good money.
What do you recommend for someone that has like a busy schedule to keep a boundary and also like stay with that same time management? What do you do that like makes it, work for you?
Oh man, my favorite thing is habit stacking.
Okay.
Habit stacking, doing one thing at a time. It's like every
Okay.
day I'm gonna commit to waking up at 5:30.
Okay.
And then my next goal will be XYZ. Do one thing at a time and build on that. Keep those boundaries with yourself, hold yourself accountable, and find your accountability partner.
Yeah, you gotta have an accountability partner.
Yeah, find your partner who's gonna be like, text you in the morning, hey, are you up?
Yeah.
Right,
Are you
exactly.
up?
So habit stacking, that's the first of me hearing that. I like that. I'm going to actually implement that in my life. One of the ways that I try to work with time management is counting the minutes and like really getting to the thick of it. I might not put it down on paper all the time like I should. Like my wife always tells me, put it on paper, write it down. But counting the minutes is like, oh, okay, what did I just do for 10 minutes? And how long did it take from that hour? Okay, now I got the rest of the hour left, and I got 5 minutes of taking a shower, 5 minutes of that. And then once you start realizing that a lot of the times that a lot of minutes are from scrolling or doing something that isn't really that productive, then you'll see where your hitches are, your hiccups are in your life whenever you are struggling with time management.
Would you say like habit stacking is kind of a form of like a to-do list almost? Or would you separate the two from each other? Because I picture like a to-do list, like I gotta get all these things done today. Where I'd say like your form of habit stacking, and definitely correct me if I'm wrong, is you have to like wake up at 5:30 every day. Like you just keep on making that a routine. Right?
Routines do help. Do I wake up at 5:30 every day? No.
It's hard.
I'll be texting my accountability partner. It's like 6:30. And I'm like, good morning. No, it is hard. I think that habit stacking is like taking one thing at a time, and this is for long-term growth, right?
Yeah.
Like you could get your to-do list done today,
Right.
or you could look at how you want to live your best life and incorporate that one thing at a time. Get this building block solid. Okay, now you can add the next thing, take care of your kids. They're all good in the mornings. You can move on to the next thing. So habit stacking is important. I also teaching my husband too, so he'll always make me my cup of coffee in the morning.
Nice.
Just like, here you go. I'm like,
That's awesome.
For those who are just tuning in, I'm talking with Bitta at the Ulu Room. We are talking about the topic of habit stacking in our daily lives.
So, on to the next question. Do you have any questions for us before we go into the next the segue?
no, let's get it.
Let's
So-
get it.
Get it.
I actually want to know. So you started Ulu Room 7 months ago, right? With Anna. What has changed from when you guys first started to where are you guys now? Like, can you kind of define that level of growth of not each month, you don't have to explain each month, but like one of the things that you've seen yourself grow as the business started getting bigger and bigger and bigger?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to talk about that. And with that, I would also like to bring in Leadership Kauai as well, because that has definitely helped me with my growth over these last 7 months. So fall of last year, I believe it was August, I was part of the 20th cohort for Leadership Kauai.
Nice.
And going into that program, the Ulu Room wasn't born yet. It was an idea. A couple months in, the idea started to take form. Anna and I, we would go meet up at places like the Beer Co. or Collab Cafe, and we would just like have chats, and we're like, oh, we really need to do this. Oh, this would be so fun if we could get this group together, and so just casual conversations, and it started to form into this bigger idea. And with all of the tools that I was learning from Leadership Kauai, and Anna is also an alumni from Leadership Kauai, so we were speaking the same language, and we have the same passions about wellness within the community.
Right.
So as the months go on, and I keep learning all these different tools and doing all these different training exercises, and then implementing them and putting them into action, the Ulu Room was born maybe it was October, November of 2023. So we were like 3 months in to our Leadership Kauai group.
Okay.
And with that birth of the Ulu Room, it was the block party. Block party. And we had our muralist, Pineki. She did our Hopu Hale mural in the Ulu Room, and it changed the space. It changed the physical space that is the Ulu Room, and it brought in the nature from outside. It brought in Hopu, which is, that humpback looking ridge if you're in Lihue and you look south. Yeah. Right? It borders Lihue, Kipu, and Poipu. So that mural represented what I brought to the table, what I brought to the Ulu Room. And it's
culture.
It's culture. It's culture. It's knowing the roots. It's knowing where we are, like geographically, who we are as a people, what aloha is, and how to put that into action into your business.
Right.
And having those boundaries, learning from our failures. If you only show aloha, like a people pleaser, which I have been majority of my life, like people are gonna take advantage of you because they can.
Right.
So with that growth and learning who I am and the value that I bring and gaining the confidence that I needed to be a business owner, to be in the business realm of Kauai, which it's nuts when I think about it. That's some of the growth that I've gained along the way in these last 7 months. And I think the most challenging thing has been that inner confidence. So that inner confidence of, I am good enough, I'm qualified enough, I can run this show, I can run the Ulu Room, I can build this community, I can make this community well, I can make us strong, And when I say I don't mean just myself, because it takes.
It's the energy. It's the energy. It's the energy.
Yeah.
So, have you familiar with the Kanaka Canvas with Dirk Soma and it's a couple other people? Robbie, I talked about it before. It's incorporating the Hawaiian culture values with business, and he has a whole it's called I don't know, it's like a spreadsheet, kind of like what you went through with the, elevator pitch and going through that, but they teach you how to do it while remaining respectful to the Hawaiian cultures. and there's a pyramid that he creates, and it says, "It's people, pono, then profit," and like, and then in between that, it's like little sectors of everything that you're supposed to be doing to, to honor that. It seems like it's something I would want to share with you when we get out of here, because I think that you would love to see, and it was taught to us at KCC with the Strive program. Syracuse University came out here and they did a project for the veterans, and they were teaching veterans how to start businesses. And he introduced the Kanaka Canvas to us with that, and I feel like it'll be something good for you to share with all the people that you come in contact with, because you're extremely cultural based, and I love that and appreciate that.
Thank you.
No, I got you.
I'd love that. So people, pono, profit. Yeah, and I think like those values in those orders are really, really important. Yeah.
Because most people think profit first. Everything is supposed to be profit first, and then they forget about the people. And then how can you be pono if you, you know what I'm saying? If your order is all messed up.
Well, that's part of the business that a lot of people don't understand. Is like they focus so much on making money that they don't realize like where they're selling their stuff is actually affecting the people that they end up buying.
Yeah.
It's like how do we structure it so that like culturally that we are accepting of what we do, and how do we structure it where the people are actually caring about everything that goes on in our lives, while making sure that our business succeeds in the way that it is. Yeah.
So you were speaking off camera about some opportunities that the Ulu Room is offering, or some type of insider help that you guys would look forward to up there.
Yeah.
We got some insider scoop for you.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. All the juicy news. The Ulu Room, we're a rent space venue, so we host classes, workshops, events. Some of our offerings include like ballet, line dancing, yoga. And right now what we're looking for is more practitioners in fitness or wellness. So if that's you, if you're like a certified trainer and want to offer a specialty class, come talk to us at the Ulu Room. We're also expanding in the front space where we're making a very specialty curated shop, mini shop. So if you're a Kauai business, handmade, locally designed business, and you want to be featured at the Ulu Room, come give us a visit, stop by. And we also have our gem in the back, which is our private suite space. So that's actually going to be open. I don't know if it'll be open when you air this podcast.
Okay. Nice.
But we are definitely centered on wellness, and we are centered on community. So if you feel like that aligns with your business, come to the Ulu Room and come work with us, Bitta and Anna.
Hey.
You heard it here first from Bitta herself.
Yep.
So I guess let's just put this into an ending note. Like where are you now with the Ulu Room, and where do you see the Ulu Room becoming, or what's its next step?
So we talked about from the beginning, from the Ulu Room as an idea and to where it is today, and what it is now. In the future and looking forward, I want to be able to bring my passion back into it. So in the beginning of the Ulu Room, I really looked forward to teaching my wellness classes, offering my specialty of being a fitness instructor, and incorporating Hawaiian language and Hawaiian culture, because I feel like that is something the island needs. It's something that Hawaiians need. We need to feel included in the realm of wellness.
Of course.
100%.
There's an epidemic on Kauai, throughout Hawaii. Since starting Leadership Kauai, there were 3 young men that I knew who have taken their lives. So this was in the last 10 months. There's three of them, and that's just recently, and I feel that so deeply, and I want to hold space for all of those lives that were lost, and hold space for all of those lives that were impacted from that. And I want us to be better. I want us to be better and create a safe space. I want our communities to be well, and we can all achieve this if we do it together. I think 100%. That we are better together.
100%. Yeah. So wellness, that's beautiful, and we appreciate you being the forefront of making sure that we keep
Right.
that here and we bring that need to the people. You're a blessed soul, and man, I wish you many more successes, and anything that we can do to help, like, just let us know anytime. You can reach out. Any questions you have about business, and like you said, anybody in the community that wants to help out and wants to bring some type of healing or some type of nurturing or some type of wellness to the island. Reach out to the Ulu Room. You know what I mean?
Adding on top of that, it definitely is relieving for someone who is on the younger side to be able to tackle this at the forefront, because there can only be so much that our older generation can do, but it's our turn to really step up and play into the field and actually show who we are and get what we need to get done for the better of the community.
Yep.
So we definitely appreciate young entrepreneurs here too, because I think there's nothing more important in Kauai than having a representative of young entrepreneurs to see where the island would end up going, especially the ones that do live here, that are raised here, and that are born here. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah,
I appreciate you. We appreciate you. Anything you got for the people out there? One last piece of advice before we go?
Oh, no piece of advice. Just an invitation to bring your business out, bring out your passions, your dreams. Don't be scared. There's a community here to catch you. We're all here to uplift each other. I think that a big win at the Ulu Room has been that some of the pop-ups people do, it's their first ever pop-up.
Yeah.
They come up and they're like, boom, we're here. And I'm like, yes, you are. Like, we have that space for you. And
That's
that's
great.
it.
All right, dope.
No, definitely. How could the people reach you and to be in contact with the Ulu Room to be able to work with you?
Best way to contact the Ulu Room would be through social media, Instagram. Reach out to us, DM us. We also have our website, which can be found through the Instagram, or you can visit theuluroom.com. My contact info is on there, so don't be afraid to literally give me a call. Like, call me up.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you'll definitely be seeing her on our page sometime soon.
Yep. All right, y'all. Well, that was a great episode. Appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bitta. And this is the last call for Talking Growth of the day.
Hey.